Coach Leipold today is junior wide receiver KJ Osborne. He's named the MAC East Offensive Player of the Week after his 7-catch, 188-yard, 3-touchdown performance against Eastern Michigan. With that, Coach and KJ are available for questions.
KJ, what does it mean to be able to help this team, go 3-0, aim for 4-0, help make history with this team?
Oh, it feels amazing. All the hard work we've been putting in, all through the off season with Coach Lou, and to see it, starting to manifest, it's really good. It feels good, especially that that I can help the team any way possible. So it feels good.
For a team that on the offensive side had a lot of hype and focus on Tyree and AJ going into the year, is it nice for you to kind of show that there are other weapons on that offense?
For us, we're an unselfish team, so it doesn't really matter. We knew obviously AJ's a very talented guy, so we knew he was going to get a lot of road coverages and things like that. So I knew what my role was coming into the season. That I was going to have to step up, and I think that's one thing that Coach I tried to develop in the off season is getting depth. So guys like you see, like Charlie Jones coming in for me. We got George and Tone and guys like that. So anybody can make a play. So especially with Tyree.
KJ, how much have you seen through the first 3 games, and maybe that'll stop now, that teams are focused on AJ, that the coverages are, by your observation, designed to try to stop him?
Right. I guess you just got to pick your poison, I guess. We're just going to go out there and do what we do. But if they want to go to AJ, other guys can step up. If not, AJ, he's going to do his thing. But it's just good to have a lot of weapons to make the defense, pick what they want to do. We also have a great running game. So, we're just going to do what we do and just play.
Coach, with your how's your offensive success been so far? With your offensive line having allowed 0 sacks, how does it open up the offense for you guys?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that go involved to us being successful so far offensively. You mentioned the offensive line. Rarely do they get mentioned, and they've done a nice job protecting well, doing things. I think we're, really the first game of the year, I think if you remember, post-game, we weren't real pleased with really how we ran the ball. We had a lot of, unconventional looks in that game by Delaware State, but these last 2 games, I think we've run the ball better. I think Tyree's done an excellent job, and that's, again, when a lot of it starts at the quarterback position. And when your quarterback is confident and experienced and understands defenses and understands the scheme, he's getting rid of the ball quickly and doing the thing. So everything has to tie together. For us to be the team that we want to be, it does have to really, continue to be that way. That we always want to be balanced. Okay, as successful as we were in the great game that KJ had, what do we have, 27 pass attempts? That's still not like, it's not like we're throwing it 40-some times. It's not like he scrambled and ran 10 times or something. So, again, still limited in the total amount, but being effective in what we're doing.
With the fact that your offensive line is so solid, or they've been so solid through those first 3 games, how much, does that speak to your offensive consistency as a whole?
It says a lot about it. I think it says a lot about this group on offense, especially, and the experience and confidence that they have, and the growing pains we went through to get there, and those were. But again, they've continued to work hard, and really at left guard, Paul Nosworthy's probably the newest of the starters that played some last year, but the other 4 of the 5 have played together. Tyler's played a lot at tight end. So, also, working together has been a big part of that, and understanding, and, for that group especially. And I sit in on a lot of their meetings, and the teaching that Daryl Ekpulsa does with that group is outstanding to get them to that point.
Lance, it would be easy for Tyree to sort of maybe make his first glance towards someone like Anthony Johnson in every pass play. How have you guys been able to coach him and get him to the point where he's looking at everybody? And then how about the development of KJ and the rest of the guys to provide another option beyond, the one All-American guy?
Well, I think it starts also again in the meeting room. Jim Zabrowski, his position coach for Tyree, does a great job in understanding, and we're moving guys around, and there's going to be different opportunities for different guys, and each play has its own progression of reads, and Tyree has done a great job of understanding that. I can't remember them all as we go through all the games of last year, but I want to say, KJ's kind of, I guess, first coming out was probably that Western Michigan game, and I don't even know if he started that game, I don't think he did, and people don't even realize that. And, so to see where that has come is, but when you look at in KJ's, he and Tyree came in at the same time. Tyree's confidence in KJ's abilities have been there since the first fall. And I think it's kind of come out a little bit here in the last 4 days or so, but there's everyone within the walls of our program know what this young man does on a daily basis for our program, how he works at it, how he goes about it. Everyone has great confidence in him. He's done anything we've asked him to do, whether it be a gunner on the punt team to maybe being in the front row of the kick return game early in his career to now being the punt and kick returner. He'll do whatever we ask him to do, and he'll do it to the best of his abilities. And he's one of the more versatile and valuable players and productive players in our program right now.
Lance, you're playing Rutgers, a team that's given up at least 50 points in its last 2 games. How do you not underestimate this team as you prepare for them on Saturday?
Well, it's a Big Ten university. It's a team that had a convincing win week 1. Year 3 of Coach Ash, he's building a program, and those and through those, as I had mentioned just a couple questions earlier about growing pains, and when you go through growing pains, there's ups and downs, and but they're going to be back at home, and they, like I said, they played well at home. They to go to Ohio State, not to it's hard to get in comparatives, okay, but people like to do it anyway. So Kansas went on the road and beat Central Michigan pretty, and Central played Kentucky pretty good. So you can get into all those things, okay. So maybe not so much Rutgers is Kansas found a little bit of a groove here the last couple weeks. Ohio State's a top 4 program in the country. So looking at the body of work and all that, we know that they're going to be ready to go. This is a game that they want to get themselves back in stride as they get closer to the conference season on a full-time basis. But most importantly, we have to work on what we have to get better at. We left a lot of things on the field Saturday. Very happy with the win, but a couple opportunities in the fourth quarter to put the game away offensively. Some missed opportunities defensively that we didn't tackle as well as we needed to. They have an excellent running back. We're going to have to tackle better, or we're going to have our hands full on Saturday.
Coach, speaking of those missed opportunities, you had 2 chances in the red zone where you decided to go for it on 4th down. Is that more of just being a concerted effort of being more aggressive, or is it more of a reaction to something you've seen in the kicking game or something?
More the first, that we want to stay aggressive in things that we're looking at, and looking at the possessions that are happening within a football game in college football. You look at their ability to strike quickly. Sometimes 3 points isn't going to do it anyway, so we're trying to handle that. I really thought the one with, I believe we got the ball with about 9 minutes to go. Went for it. We were running the ball with some good success. I thought we were going to get a little better spot on the 3rd down of that one. Still confident in our guys to go get it. We get that 1st down. Either they're going to have to start burning timeouts then already, and we could really take that thing down. Then I guess that answers that one. We'd missed one earlier. Then we got the ball back again and fumbled, but yeah, we're going to be aggressive, okay? Just, when you look at some things and the guys that we have, and, if somebody told me yesterday, I believe, that we're second in the nation in going for it on fourth down. And, that's the confidence and experience that we have on offense that this group can get it done.
How much do you like that, KJ, when your coach is aggressive and has faith? I mean, everybody always wants to always go for it on fourth down.
Right.
But as a player, how much do you like that?
Oh, well, we love it because, that he trusts us. And when he makes that decision, we get in the huddle and we're like, all right, coach is trusting us, so we need to execute. And I think we were doing a good job of that. We came up short a couple of times, but, we love it. We see fourth down. We look at coach. We're like, we can do it. And the fact that he trusts us, that means everything to us. So it's fun. And like you said, just being aggressive.
KJ, what's the mood like in the locker room? Is there any different excitement heading into a game where you're playing a Power 5 conference team, more so going into their stadium and having to play them on the road?
Yeah, I think it's some excitement. Playing like you said, a Big Ten team. We coming in with a chip on our shoulder. We want to be on a Big Ten network, and just like you said, just playing a big team. So we're not going to pass the opportunity, but we're going to prepare just like we're playing any other team. We're going to go out, work hard at practice, and we're going to prepare to do what we do.
KJ, for you as a receiver, how much confidence does it give you personally knowing that, your offensive line is protecting your quarterback enough where he has time to go through all the reads and you guys have time to run the routes that you're going to run?
Right. It gives us tremendous confidence, and it's great. You see how hard the guy, like Coach saying, they don't get a lot of credit and a lot of, like media time, things like that, but we see in the locker room how hard they work. Jimmy leading those guys, in the off season and in practice, and Coach Ekpulsa, how he's pushing them. So just to know, our quarterback's gonna have time. We're gonna run our routes, and we can just do our job. So it's great.
KJ, Chuck Harris had a pretty big game on Saturday, and you guys are both from Southeast Michigan. Did you know him at all in high school?
I did not know Chuck in high school. I played on the 707 team that I think the coach coached at his high school, so I may have heard his name, but no, I did not know him in high school. But me and Reggie Wynn, who is a good friend of Chuck, we get along, so we're cool now. We're like brothers.
Yeah. Now, as far as Chuck goes, he was on a late bloomer in football, but what did you see out of him, that really kind of surprised you about a guy who didn't play football until he was, 15, 16 years old?
Right. Chuck, he's came a long way. He got a lot stronger, a lot bigger, and, at first, on offense, I was just kind of worried about what I was doing, but then you see Chuck, the plays he was making and how hard he works, then you're like, wow, Chuck is a really good player, and you see him and Tyler go at it all the time, and they're pushing each other, so it's great to see that he's making plays out there.
Coach, you guys are currently 6-point favorites over Rutgers heading into the weekend. What is that kind of favoritism, or that kind of, it's actually larger favorites than you were over Eastern Michigan, so what does that really tell you about this team and this program, where it's come?
Well, when it comes to those spreads, we don't spend a lot of time worrying about that, but it's still going to be on a weekly basis that we have to go out and get things done. As we anticipated a 60-minute close game against Temple, which went down to the last minute and then some. We expected a 60-minute game against Eastern, and there's an onside kick that we recovered to seal the win, and we expect a 60-minute game when we go to Rutgers, and it's going to be our job to make sure it's a 60-minute game. On the positive side of your question, I guess it's nice to see now that we're gaining some respect as we go through it, and these guys have worked hard for that. But I think we've tried to continually, whichever side of a favorite or underdog or whatever it may be, that we've understood is that you have to go out and play. And KJ made good reference to it is, today's a heavy work day in practice, and we've got to go back out and get better and keep doing it. And it'll be boring week after week for me to say it, but that's the only way we really know how to do it. And you're only as good as your last game, and you got to go out and make sure your next one's even better if you can.
Coach, you referenced when talking about Chuck's improved play in the defensive ends, about how the 10th assistant coach has played a role in that. What went into your decision in deciding that was where you wanted to use the 10th coach, and how has the split up of duties allowed maybe a different way of coaching the line than maybe most teams do?
Well, some teams already had 2 defensive line coaches if they're a 4-man front, and maybe 1 secondary coach. I mean, it's a personal preference. When we put the staff together, we went with 2 secondary coaches. Had thoughts at one time of making a switch, did not. So, if you're just simplistically speaking, if you're a 3-man front, if you're a 3-4 defense, you're probably gonna have 1 defensive line coach, an inside linebackers coach, an outside linebackers coach, a corners, and a safeties coach. Some people go with a roving coordinator. You can do that as well. But us being a 4-man front, it was, to me, the best way to go about it. Some people, I guess, also have gone with strictly a special teams coordinator. I feel strong that we've had many assistant coaches that can, coach a unit and do it as well, and we can use our talents the best we can. So to me, it was the best and easiest one to just kind of right in front of me, I guess, to make that decision. With that, it has allowed, I think, both groups to get better. Technique work, just repetitions in practice, it's reduced. I guess reduced of the time. I guess the lines. I'm thinking as I'm speaking there about the lines being longer. Now they're not, or whatever it is, because the eyes. You have another set of eyes in doing the coaching, and with that, I think Coach Bellantoni's done a great job of now you get to work a little bit more on pass rush, and you can do some things and split things up as you can do it, and of course the experience of Chuck and the way he's really worked. And kind of going back on the last question is, Chuck showed up here, he's a true senior, but he showed up here, as a freshman, probably under 220 pounds, okay? And he played as a true freshman, and he, size and strength deficiencies early in his career, he had to learn on the job like a few other guys did, and now he's taken all of that, and his body has changed. He's embraced the weight room and all these things, and really happy for him. The way it's he's progressing and at the level he's playing at right now.
KJ, so last week I asked Cam this question, but how do you embrace the Fly the Flag campaign? What's that like for you guys? How do you embrace that in the locker room?
Oh, we take great pride in it. Just to be able to beat a non-conference team and fly the flag. It's very exciting. As you see at Temple, we were flying it around, things like that. So I think we love it, and it brings a sense of pride. To show like that MAC is a good conference. We have good teams in this conference.
All right. Anything else for Coach or KJ? All right. Thanks. They're available for one-on-ones.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.